These are real laws. Not jokes, not rumors. In some places, slurping soup is illegal. Handling a salmon in suspicious circumstance can get you fined. And apple pie was once illegal without cheese. Yes, this is real. These are food laws. Written by real lawmakers. No ketchup, no margarine, no biting someone else's burger, no donuts while walking backward. One of these laws actually got someone arrested. Let's start with law number 1.
1. In Gainesville, Georgia, the self-proclaimed poultry capital of the world, it is illegal to eat fried chicken using anything other than your hands. Passed in 1961 as a publicity stunt. The city has embraced it so fully that people have actually been arrested for violating it, including a 91-year-old tourist who was later pardoned by the mayor. In the United Kingdom, a 1986 law makes it illegal to handle a salmon in suspicious circumstances. The wording is famously vague, but the law was meant to combat fish poaching. Still, it conjures the unforgettable image of a trenchcoat deal involving an illegal fish. In Columbus, Georgia, selling peanuts within city limits after sunset on Wednesdays is illegal. The oddly specific rule likely came from attempts to regulate street vendors, but today it feels deeply personal. France once took legislative action against ketchup. In 2011, the government restricted ketchup use in school cafeterias to protect traditional cuisine. Students are only allowed ketchup with fries, and fries are only served once a week. In Wisconsin, apple pie served in public restaurants was legally required to be accompanied by a slice of cheese. While no longer enforced, the cultural expectation remains strong enough to make plain apple pie feel rebellious. Wisconsin also spent decades fighting margarine. For years, it was illegal to serve colored margarine unless customers specifically requested it, all due to powerful dairy industry lobbying during the so-called butter wars. In Maryland, it is illegal to mistreat an oyster in any way. The law never clearly defines what mistreatment actually means. It was likely written to regulate harvesting and handling, but the wording makes oysters sound legally sensitive. Certain parts of New Jersey, slurping soup is illegal. That familiar sound of enjoying a hot meal is considered disruptive. The law targets public dining behavior. Someone clearly hated loud eaters. Massachusetts law bans tomatoes in New England clam chowder. All violators can technically lose all the clams involved. The law protects regional culinary identity. Tomato chowder is treated like caramel by the sea. Once banned eating ice cream while standing. The goal was to prevent sticky sidewalks. Tourists with melting cones were the target. The law was repealed by Mayor Clint Eastwood. Oklahoma. Law makes it illegal to bite someone else's hamburger. This falls under property protection statutes. It guards against unwanted food sharing. The burger is legally sacred. In Marion, Ohio, eating a donut while walking backward is illegal. No official explanation exists for this rule. There's no recorded incident behind it. It remains purely baffling. 3. Singapore banned chewing gum in 1992. Vandals used gum to damage subway doors. The government responded with a total ban. Only medical gum is allowed. Now, Little Rock bans honking near sandwich shops at night. The restriction starts after 9 p.m. Applies only to sandwich businesses. Clearly, a very specific problem once existed. Pocatello, Idaho once banned romantic candy under 50 pounds. The ordinance targeted gifts to sweethearts. It encouraged grand gestures only. Romance had a minimum weight. France once banned naming a pig Napoleon. The law protected the emperor's reputation. Even animals couldn't mock national heroes. The ban lasted over a century. Iowa law treats margarine as counterfeit butter. Restaurants had to post warning signs. Customers had to be informed clearly. Butter purity was taken seriously. Utah law requires milk in emergency food supplies. The rule applies to public institutions. It's part of disaster preparedness planning. Even emergencies include dairy. Mobile, Alabama bans confetti during Mardi Gras. The goal is easier cleanup. Silly string is also restricted. It's a tidy celebration by law. Pennsylvania bans mixing beer and milk. The law blocks a disturbing drink combination. No one knows who requested it. Lawmakers stopped it in advance. Washington state bans picking fruit from others' trees. The law protects large orchards, fruit. Theft is treated as larceny. Even one apple can be illegal. Baker's dozen comes from medieval bread. Laws, underweight loaves led to harsh punishment. Bakers added an extra loaf for safety. 13 became standard. Orleans bans prank pizza deliveries. Pizza requires recipient consent. The law prevents surprise. Bills. Practical jokes crossed a line point. Topeka, Kansas bans ice cream on cherry pie. No clear history explains why. The rule targets a specific dessert. Pairing. Joy was limited legally. Japan strictly regulates fugu preparation. Only licensed chefs may serve it. Training takes years. Final exams involve eating the fish. Maine bans advertising on tombstones. This includes food advertisements. Graveyards must remain commercial-free. Even snacks aren't allowed. U.S. bans importing authentic Scottish haggis. The reason is sheep lung content. USDA deems it unsafe. Only modified versions are legal. Tennessee once banned possession of hollow logs. Bootleggers hid alcohol inside them. The law targeted smuggling tools, not the alcohol itself. Canada mandates vitamin fortified margarine. It must meet color standards. The same applies to milk. Nutrition is legally. Colonial Connecticut sold fake wooden nutmeg. The fraud became infamous nationwide. Wooden nutmeg became slang. Consumer protection laws followed. So what do we learn from all this? That food isn't just about taste. It's about power, culture, control, and sometimes pure chaos. These laws weren't written to be funny, but time has a way of turning seriousness into comedy. What once protected industries, traditions, or public order now reads like satire. Burgers with legal rights, oysters with feelings, and desserts that could land you in trouble. Some of these laws still exist on paper, quietly waiting for the wrong donut, the wrong soup slurp, or the wrong slice of pie. So next time you eat, remember, you're not just having a meal. You're navigating history, politics, and a legal system that once looked at food and said, absolutely not.